Well, Clemson has just added its fourth commitment in the 2026 recruiting class, and none other than West Virginia tight end Tavon Wilson from Huntington Prep in Huntington, West Virginia. Tavon, 6'3", 205 pounds, um, multi-sport athlete, plays football, basketball, track, and baseball as well. Just really, really impressive. Um, if you've been following Clemson recruiting for a while, you know that they absolutely love multi-sport athletes. It's a very important for your athletic development. It, keeps you in shape, year round, and it also allows you to develop skill sets that you can apply to the football field. So, that's one of the reasons that Clemson, just throughout especially under the Dabo Sweeney tenure, they've really, really sought after kids that play multiple sports. And Tavon fits that mold. Really, really smooth athlete. Really, really good with the ball in his hands. I think he projects to probably be to fit kind of that H-back / tight end role, similar to what you see in Olsen Pat Henry and Josh Sapp. I think it's a really big get for Kyle Richardson. He's a guy that has, for the third cycle in a row, just kind of found his guy early. Especially like early in the summer, brought him on campus and locked him down. And Tavon, he visited for the Stanford game and was really, really intrigued and excited. And then things kind of took off from there. He has offers from West Virginia, Penn State, Louisville, Miami, some really, really solid offers. And but Clemson was the program that stood out to him, especially once he started taking those visits. And he ultimately decided to pull the trigger today. And like I said, that's Clemson's fourth commitment in the 2026 recruiting class. Let's kind of look and see what his tape looks like. Yeah, so as you can see, and you'll see throughout this his highlight tape, this is his huddle. I mean, they do a really good job of getting him the ball, getting him the football. They really, really like to get him out in space. He mainly plays wide receiver for them. He'll do a lot of, jet motion, orbit motion. They'll use him in screens. They'll also run traditional routes, but he's just kind of sort of a Swiss Army knife for that offense. And, he kind of fits the mold of what Clemson is trying to be at the tight end position. A little leaner, more athletic, versatile in the passing game and with the football. Not so much the heavy, the heavy bruisers, but I think he has the frame to kind of grow into and be a physical player. I think when he gets to Clemson, that'll definitely be a point of emphasis because obviously I don't think he can play H-back or tight end at 205 pounds. So he'll definitely have to grow into his frame a little bit and get stronger. But I think those are things well within, when just looking at him, those are things that are well within possibility. And you could see him kind of in that Josh Sapp sort of mold, sooner rather than later. Another thing I think, when he gets to Clemson, he'll have to kind of, he'll have to learn the kind of the nuances of the tight end position. It's certainly, he's, like I said, he plays wide receiver in high school. So, he's not going to have a whole ton of experience playing tight end and being that mold. But his skill set was, what drew Clemson to him. And, when he watched Clemson and their offense and how they used guys like Olsen Pat Henry and Josh Sapp, it was very, very intriguing to him. So I think that's going to be really massive for, Clemson. I think he's a guy that's going to be willing to learn and pick up things. I mean, in this age of recruiting, you have to have guys that want to be there, especially if you're Clemson and you're not going to go and spend, multi-million dollars in NIL at the high school ranks to land kids. You're going to have to be able to, emphasize more on the kids that are true scheme fits, true character fits, true program fits. And that's something that Dabo is always, always, always going to emphasize. And so I've heard nothing but good things about Tayveon as a kid, and I definitely think he fits into this offense And so we'll see how he transitions when he gets to campus. Hopefully, obviously you can never say never, and you can never talk about these kids too early and then talk like they've signed, because there's a long way to signing day. But presumably, just forward facing and looking at where he would fit into this tight end room. I mean, I think in 2026, like, you could be looking at a senior Olsen Pat Henry, potentially Josh Sapp. Marcus Dixon is still here. And then you've got, the younger guys that, the true freshman Christian Bentaker, who I obviously, if you listen to me on the All In show, I've been raving about, and I think he's going to be a really, really special player. And, Logan Brooking in the 2025 recruiting class. And then, of course, Tavon will be joining that room. So he's going to be coming into a stacked room, but I think that's, going to give him some time to develop and kind of learn, without a whole lot of pressure to be something right away. So I definitely think this is a developmental piece, but with a lot of upside, just because of his athleticism, his natural athleticism. He kind of also reminds me of Braden Galloway in a way. He was a very, very similar mold coming out of high school. I think he could definitely, fit that mold, but honestly be, a little bit better. And I think within this offense, and not necessarily the Tony Elliott, Jeff Scott offense, I think he definitely fits into that role a little bit better. A good pickup for Kyle Richardson, big pickup for Clemson. And I'm excited to see how they continue to fill out this early portion of the 2026 recruiting cycle. Of course, I'm Jordan Bowman. I do these. I've started doing these recruiting videos. I want to do more of them. So leave a like and leave a comment. Let me know if you guys want to see more recruiting content. That's something that I want to do a little bit more outside of the streaming format, when we're me and Tiger Paul Craven are on the All In show, or when we're doing our post game shows. Of course, share this video if you haven't. Like it, subscribe if you're a new viewer. That'd be great. We're trying to build this channel and grow this community. And like I said, share it with your friends, share it with Clemson fans, share it with college football fans, because it definitely helps the channel. And of course, make sure that you guys are tuning in on Wednesday nights to me and Tiger Paul Craven. We do the All In show every Wednesday at 8 p.m. And of course, we also go live at the end of every single Clemson football game in the post-game show. So make sure that you guys are hitting the notification bell. Make sure it's set to all and not personalized, because it doesn't always notify you if you have it on personalized. I don't know why that is, but that's just how YouTube is. Like I said, I want to do more of these. So, leave any feedback in the comment section. Hit that like button if you haven't. But until then, I'll see you guys on Saturday after Clemson's football game against the Citadel. Go Tigers.